Kickstarter, pretty awesome. I think everyone that's ever played a game, be it an RPG, tabletop, or board game, you know about Kickstarter. And for a while, Kickstarter is almost like one of those addictions. Everyone gets involved and you start backing fucking everything. I've trimmed myself back from it. I try not to back much. There's still a few things that I back, but not nearly as much as I used to. One of the things I did not back was the Game Master's Toolbox from Nord Games. They actually do a set of 5, and when the Kickstarter was on, I looked at it and I did not back it. Each deck was $12 US plus shipping. I'm in Canada, so you start working out the exchange rate, and I was like, $15 a fucking deck. I'm not sure if I want to do that. There's 5 in this set, and they're all treasure decks. They start with CR 1 to 4, 5 to 8, all the way up. And so I went to my local hobby store, and they actually had these in stock because I believe the Kickstarter was a success. They actually printed these off and sent them off to everyone, to all the original backers, and now they're actually in the game store. So at $14.99, the guy talked me into it. I had to take a look. I didn't buy all 5. I only bought the first 2 because no matter what, even if you do one-offs or failed campaigns, these 2 will always have the most use. So let's unbox this, because he didn't even have one in store, so I can actually take a look at the cards. And I tried to look this up on YouTube, and I didn't see anyone else do a quick review on this. So the plastic's off. I paid $14.99, so not much more than what the actual Kickstarter price is. Obviously I had to wait, but then again, I did not know if I needed this or not. To the victor, the spoils. The 52 guard takes items from the 5th edition core rulebooks and puts them in your player's hands with random loop drops for CR 1 to 4 encounters. Nord Games, 5th edition, and then a quick example. What I was told is each card has a couple of examples of what it is, and then you roll the D12 to actually work out what magic on the random card you get. So first thing you notice, it is a little bit thinner than a regular playing card, so it's not super nice. There is instructions: reward your players with loot, roll in a D12 to determine the treasure. Make sure that's in focus, so if I'm not going to finish reading it, you can by pressing pause. So we'll slide that off to the side. That's the copyright things. And then what do we got here? Let's take a look at one of these examples. So on a D12, you'd roll it 1 to 6, 15 gold printed in the likeness of a pious martyr. 7 to 9, a lightweight black porcelain orb, stomped with cork sealed and wax, bearing a label reading flame. Set of white cotton vestments, and 12, a long woolen bag which once held a musical instrument containing a pair of scribble notes on glossy parchment. First level wizard spell scroll, first level bard spell scroll. So it is a pretty thin. I haven't obviously, I just opened it up, haven't used it for a game yet, so I'm kind of interested. And I was like trying something new, so you know what, we're going to throw that on the table. Like that one had 1, 2, 3, 4 different options. I saw one in here that only had 3, but most of them looks like they have at least 4. Yeah, so far at least 4. So maybe I lied about the one that only had 3. And yeah, big 1 to 6, 25 silver pieces. Who wouldn't want that? Alright, so that was the first deck. So the second deck is CR 5 to 8. I paid the same price, $14.99. So maybe a little bit more than what the actual Kickstarter cost was, but oh well. It's all good. Plus I got to support my local hobby store. So actually the same deck cover. Same kind of thing on the back. Just the only thing that's changed is the CR 5 to 8. Cardboard box is still pretty thin. Same front. And here's the instructions. So where's that little pull tab? Right there. So we'll toss that off to the side. So we'll flip it over, the instructions. This is the copyright thing, and then, okay, what's the first one? 1 to 6, 60 gold. Folded in fine gilded paper, worth 1 gold piece. Oh, so the paper is worth 1, so 61 gold. 7 to 9, embroidered house slippers with a silken spider's web pattern sewn into them. Slippers of spider climbing, so that's kind of cool. A large tapestry depicting a mounted warrior fording a raging river. Somewhat threadbare and in need of restoration, worth 150. A scimitar with a rich golden inlay along the blade depicting a peaceful oasis, +1 weapon. So same thing, 52 cards. It should only be like the 4 options. Obviously on each card 50% chance is the lower cheaper one, and then your 12 should be the better of the options on there. So if you're thinking about picking this up, hope that gives you a good idea of what to expect if you go and pick them up, or if you got them as a Kickstarter, let me know what you thought. Thanks very much.